And tonight we are talking about confusion. Confusion in the atmosphere. Confusion. I ain't talking about the devil's work. I'm talking about your work. Confusion. Confusion is a boundary issue. If you don't know who I am, please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Coach A.C. to the OACH. Y'all does know me. My name is Coach Misty. I am your identity. I am your identity strategist. I am an author, a good one at that. Okay, bitch. The next best-selling author on Amazon. Look on Amazon on the self-help books looking ass. Okay. And I am the owner of the Overflow House. Come on, somebody. I need somebody to say Overflow. The Overflow House. Overflow House will be opening up April 25th and 26th. Is our opening weekend. Overflow House Dallas is opening up on April 25th and the 26th. So if you are able to attend, I will have more information. The Overflow Open House is open to anybody who would like to attend. Overflow House. Overflow House Dallas is opening up. Listen, I'm excited and delighted. But tonight we are here to talk to guys. Listen, so my latest release is the 48 Laws of Overflow. Do not let the thick book fool you. It's the easy read. It's a good read. You are meant to read one law per day, right? This is not a novel. This ain't about I don't know them people named Fabio. Uh, I don't know. This is you are meant to read one law a day. All right. So if you read this book, you could get through it in probably about with the introduction and everything about 50 days. One law a day, the 48 laws of overflow. So tonight I'm gonna talk about confusion. A lot of people, a lot of us are stagnant because we are in a confused state of mind and we want to blame everything on the devil. The devil is working hard. No, bitch, your mind is working. Let me take these glasses off. Hello. What? I was just about to go there. I think it's something about those rectangle glasses that baby, I'll be ready to call you a bee in a minute. Let me take them glasses off and soften up. Hello, everyone. My name is Coach Misty. I had to take this. Something about them glasses make me want to fight. Hello. Let me take them glasses off. Let's I'm gonna try another pair of glasses later. Some about them glasses that make me wanna knuck if you buck. But I want to talk to you today. So first of all, I want to today we are talking about a topic that affects almost every area of your life, but especially relationships, leadership, purpose, and identity. We talking about confusion, huh? What is it? What confusion shows up in your relationships, huh? Bitch, if you 50 years old asking a motherfucker what are we, ho, you are confused. It shows up in your leadership. Your assistant talking to you like they run the show. Confused. It shows up in your purpose. You 60 years old talking about what am I supposed to be doing? Confused and identity. We could go a whole lot of places with that, but I ain't gonna say it either way. Confused. You say you a bad bitch, but you walking around like a simpleton. Confused. Oh yeah. Don't let the church voice and the granny thing fool you. I'm here with the shits. Confused. I know who I am. I'm a YG. I'm a business mogul and I'm a YG. That means young granny. Huh? I know who I am. I'm a business mogul. I'm a wife and I'm a YG. I'm a young granny. Huh? Meaning I had a grandmother that raised me. Huh? Listen, yeah, I had a grandmother that raised me. I put kids in the bed at 8 o'clock and I still get outside and whoop your ass. Yo, confused. I'm a YG, baby. You got YNs, I'm a YG. Hello. Huh? I'm a YG. Yeah. Yeah. I babysit kids on Tuesdays. Let's get into it, y'all. Now, here's the deal. Again, we're going to talk about confusion. Now, most what? I'm telling you, I know who I am. That's why we're here. Do you know who you are? I know who I am. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a business mogul. I'm a YG. I'm a young granny. Huh? Bitch, I'm funny on Tuesdays. I know who I am. There's no problem with my identity. I walk in it. Yeah, I walk in it. Huh? I am a Timu lover. I walk in it. I'm not confused. I used to be confused. I didn't know who I was, and I was trying to please everybody. And I believe that this message is going to resonate with a lot of people, right? I want you to know that most people assume confusion is simply a lack of information. They assume that if they just gather more data, ask more questions, or wait long enough, clarity is going to eventually arrive on its own. But the truth is that confusion rarely exists because someone lacks information. I'm going to say this I'm gonna say this to say that confusion rarely exists because you lack information. In fact, there are many highly intelligent and highly successful people that experience confusion in their personal lives despite being extremely capable in their professional environments. You ever met somebody who had it all together at work and at home they was fucked up? Yeah, you'd met them because bitch is you confused. She said I'm funny every day. I don't try to be. I promise you I don't. I promise you I don't. I really don't try to be funny. That's not something I'm like, oh my God, let me say this. I think that's going I really don't. Confused. Okay. Listen, I want to tell you this. The reason why that a lot of you all are confused or knowing someone that's confused is because confusion, and the reason why confusion can pop up in one area of your life and not all areas where you could be amazing at work and fucked up at home, or fucked up at home and amazing at work, is because confusion is rarely an intellectual issue. You are not confused because you don't have enough information. You are not confused because your IQ is low. You are confused. You listen, you are confused because, bitch, you are confused, and you're confused because you don't have boundaries. I'm going to say that confusion is almost always a boundary issue. Say it with me again. Confusion is almost always boundary issues. I want you to know this: when boundaries are unclear, signals become mixed. How? When you don't stand on business, signals become mixed. When signals become mixed, outcomes become unstable. So let's talk about that again. When boundaries are unclear, that means signals become mixed. And when signals become mixed, that means outcomes become unstable. And when the outcome becomes unstable, people begin to describe their lives with words like uncertainty, inconsistency, misalignment, and confusion. Now, I want you to know that today's lecture is designed to unpack why this happens and how it can be corrected. Welcome in. You got to stand on business. First of all, you can't stand on business if you haven't determined what that business is, and that's what people don't understand. You can't stand on business until you've determined what the fuck that business is. You can't stand on it. I want you to know that throughout this class, I will be reading from the 48 Laws of Overflow. Right? This is my newest book, The 48 Laws of Overflow. If you don't have this book and you want to get it, text book to that number. Text the word book to that number, and I'll send it to you after class. The 48 Laws of Overflow. The reason why I teach from this book every Sunday is because the principles in this book is going to explain something that most personal development conversations ignore. This book is going to explain that life responds to clarity of signal, not intensity of desire. You don't understand. There's a reason why you can't get what it is that you're asking for. It's not that you don't desire it. It's about the clarity of the signals that you're sending out. Don't say you want to get married, but you don't date. Don't say you want to date, but you don't go outside. Don't say you want a good man, but you keep on running into knuckleheads and entertaining them, right? So your desire to be married and have a husband that loves you, or a spouse that loves you and treats you right is there. However, the reason why it's not happening because the signals that you're sending out, your shit is unstable. What you say and what you want are two different things. That is what confusion. Now, before we begin, if you have the book with you, I want you to keep it nearby because we will be reading from several of the laws together. And if you do not have the book, I strongly suggest that you get a copy because the ideas that we are discussing today are part of a larger lesson framework that explains how overflow actually functions in real life. So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn to, we're going to go to Law 41. At the end of this class, I read a law every day just for myself. I reread my laws. But we're going to do, I'm not going to never tell you to do something that I don't do. We're going to start with Law 41. So if you have the book, I want you to turn to page 382. I want you to turn to page 382. If you have the book, turn to page 382. If you're a part of the highest self circle, this book is actually a PDF within the highest self circle. When I say join the class, that's what I mean. The highest self circle, you can join. We have updated the homework, the weekly assignments. So go ahead and get back started with your weekly assignments. Thank you for being patient. And the 48 Laws of Overflow is in there. But what I'm going to do is, Law 41 says that the universe rewards clarity and consistency. I'm going to say this again. The universe rewards clarity and consistency. All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to read a little bit from it. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to start on page 382. Law 41 says the universe rewards clarity and consistency. Confusion sends mixed signals. Consistency sends instructions. Let me tell you why this law is about signals and not desires. Number one, the universe does not respond to intensity. I'm saying this again. The universe does not respond to intensity, it responds to signals. You can want something badly and still send unclear instructions. You can pray passionately and still move inconsistently. You can visualize vividly and still contradict yourself daily. The universe doesn't guess. It responds to what you repeatedly demonstrate. Clarity tells life what you want. Consistency tells life that you mean it. I'm gonna say this again. This could be about anything: money, relationships, work, career, whatever it is. I'm gonna say this again. Clarity tells life what you want. Consistency tells life that you mean it. Now, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read two things. Let me tell you why confusion delays everything. First of all, confusion is not harmless. Let's get that out the way. Confusion is not harmless. I want you to know that confusion creates delays, mixed outcomes, half results, unstable progress, and stop start cycles. When your actions, words, and energy don't match, the universe pauses, not to punish you, but to avoid misdelivery. Life waits until the signal stabilizes. Did y'all understand that? I'm gonna say this again. When you are confused, confusion can create delays, mixed outcomes, half results, unstable progress, and stop start cycles. You've been working on that degree for 20 years. You've been working on that business for 10 years, right? So when your actions, words, and energy don't match, the universe pauses. And it's not to punish you, but to avoid misdelivery. Life waits until the signal stabilizes. Now I'm gonna talk to you about what clarity actually is. See, we talked about what confusion. Clarity says clarity is not overthinking. So let's get into that. Clarity is not overthinking. Clarity is knowing what you want, knowing what you will no longer tolerate, knowing your priorities, knowing your boundaries, knowing your direction. See, clarity simplifies decision making. It removes negotiation, it sharpens focus, because the clearer you are, the less energy you waste. May this reading be a blessing to his word. Huh? Come on. And I just read a little bit of Law 41. The universe rewards clarity and consistency. I want you to know that this law explains one of the most misunderstood dynamics in personal transformation and manifestation, right? It does, right? So, because what this law explains is that life does not respond to emotional intensity, it responds to signals. And I'm going to tell you why this distinction is extremely important. Now, if you are just now joining, what's up, Buttercup? My name is Coach. What was that? Because I'm in this house by myself, baby Jesus. Lord, where my shit at? Look at me. What was that? Because, baby, I'm in here by myself. Where my shit at? Let's go and begin. I'm going to tell you why Law 41 is important, right? Most people believe that if they want something badly enough, if they pray long enough, or if they visualize it vividly enough, life will eventually deliver it. Huh? That's why I stopped teaching manifestation for a while, because I had to get y'all energy right. If y'all been rocking with me for a minute, y'all like, damn, she used to talk about manifestation all the time. Well, she don't talk about manifestation no more. You know why? Because I needed your energy. A lot of y'all energy is associated to love and money. So I did my part and I got your money right. Now, what happens is a lot of people, when they get their money right, money, listen, the increase of money or financial opportunities will increase your confidence. And when you increase your confidence, you stop doing broke people shit. And when I mean broke people shit, I don't mean buying stuff from buying KFC other than going to somewhere and get you a steak dinner. I'm talking about you stop making broke people decisions. So I put a pause in the manifestation and I said, let me do my part and try to get them back on track financially with their taxes, with their credit, whatever it is I can do to help. Let me do that. And hopefully we stop making broke people decisions. Huh? Because I need you to vibrate a little differently. Because again, a lot of us, when we were manifesting, we thought that maybe if I want this badly enough, if I pray for it long enough, or if I visualize it vividly enough, the world, life will eventually deliver it, right? But desire alone does not create movement. Desire must be accompanied by clarity and consistency. I'm gonna say this again. Desire alone is not gonna make you a millionaire. Desire must be accompanied by clarity and consistency in order for life to recognize a signal is being sent. Now, when a person's words, actions, and internal energy contradict each other, I want y'all to get y'all pen and paper out. This is being recorded on YouTube. Go follow me on YouTube. I'm Coach Misty. When a person's words, actions, and internal energy contradict each other, the signal they are sending out becomes unstable. For example, someone might say that they want peace, yet they repeatedly tolerate chaotic relationships. Or you may say you want abundance. Y'all quick to say abundance, right? But you consistently operate from fear and urgency around money. Or some of you may say that you want commitment, yet you remain involved in dynamics that are ambiguous. Let me go ahead and break that down. Some of y'all say y'all want a husband, but y'all keep being a side piece. You being a side piece to a motherfucker who's still single. My God, tis of thee. Where's the button at? Where's my buzzer at? You say you want a relationship, but you being a side piece to a nigga that's single. How is that working out for you? Huh? You've been sleeping with somebody for you've been sleeping with somebody for 6, 7, 10, 13, 12, 11 months, and he still ain't made a commitment. My God, I'm just here. I'm just here for the coffee in the cup. I'm just here for the coffee in the cup. What are we doing? Hmm? Hmm? Listen. In each of these situations, the external environment appears confusing, but the confusion is not actually external. The confusion exists because the signal being sent into the environment is inconsistent. I want you to know that the universe does not guess what it is that you want. Life responds to patterns. Somebody put that in the comments. Life responds to patterns. One more time for the one time. Somebody just give me one bitch to put it in there. Life responds to patterns. You keep doing broke people shit, you're gonna end up broke. You start moving in a wealthy mindset, bitch. Eventually you will end up wealthy. Life responds to patterns. Huh? Listen, you keep dealing with no nothing ass niggas, you're gonna have no nothing ass baby daddies. Life responds to patterns. Hmm? You keep dealing with people who are afraid of commitments, you're gonna stay single. Hmm? Life responds to patterns. Hmm? You keep eating deli meat and potato chips with hot sauce on it. At some point, your blood pressure gonna go up. Life, okay, all right. That was for me. Life responds to patterns, huh? Mm-hmm. What? I got a party in a cup. And I want you to know that when that pattern, thank you so much for putting that on here, y'all. When the pattern is inconsistent, life pauses until the signal stabilizes. A lot of y'all, listen, God ain't put press pause on you because he making you pay for what you did. Some of y'all, I meet a lot of women that say, "Oh, I really want to have a baby, but I think God is punishing me because I aborted one when I was young." The reason why you ain't had a baby is because not because God is punishing you because of what you did, a choice you made when you was young. The reason why you ain't had a baby is because you keep on laying down with people who not worthy of having a baby with. You keep saying you want this two family, you want this two household income with two kids and two cars and a rental property and a home you own, and you want two everything as if you were Noah, but you keep laying down with jailbirds. So God said, "Well, I see what you say you want, but what you're doing is inconsistent. The people that you're laying with is inconsistent with the things you say you want. So I'm gonna push pause on your uterus. I'm gonna push pause on this baby until you can make better decisions." Hmm? I'm gonna say this again. When the pattern is inconsistent, life pauses until the signal stabilizes. And this is why so many people experience what can be described as delayed results. They may be intelligent, you may be capable and motivated, but the signals that you are sending into and the lives are mixed. And mixed signals always produce mixed outcomes. What do mixed signals do? Somebody tell me. Mixed signals produce mixed outcomes. If y'all having a good time, say yeah. If y'all like, damn, I know she's going to leave like that, say yeah. If you confused about why you here, just say yeah. Hmm? Mixed patterns produce mixed outcomes. That's it. Don't tell me you want one thing and do something different. All right, y'all. If you have your book, we're going to go ahead and switch to Law 20. Listen, we're going to switch to Law 20. If you got your book, turn to Law 20. I want to thank y'all for rocking with me. Some of y'all talked to me this weekend. Y'all, I had been sick. That rain, listen, between the rain coming down and me dancing in the rain, you got to realize when you 50, you 50. Okay, I don't know how old I am, but it's closer to 50 than anything else. So we just going to round that shit up to 50, right? Listen, when you 50 and shit happen, you 50. And I'm 50 and dancing in the rain with my shoes off and then coming home and kissing my sick husband. Okay. So I want to thank y'all who've been rocking with me. Y'all, listen, when I tell you that thing had took me downtown, but I was down to the ground. And here we are. So hold on, y'all. We got a couple trolls over here on YouTube. And I am doing readings after this. So if you are wondering about getting a reading, just go click on the link in my bio and you can go ahead and sign up for a reading. We're going to talk about Law 20. If you have your book, turn to page 195. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit better. I said, hey, one thing about two things for sure, I can't give you what I ain't got. Listen, I can't give you what I ain't got. I ain't never gonna give you what I don't have. I spent 40 years, I want to say a good 30, a good 26 years of my life doing that from the age of 16 to 40, giving people what I didn't have. And it left me drained. It left me feeling a certain type of way. I can't give you what I ain't have. Listen, I'm not gonna do your taxes if I don't feel good because I need to be on my best. I mean, I need to be at my best to add them numbers up. The ones that's there and the ones that don't exist. Add that shit up. I need to be at my best. So a lot of people are like, hey, I can't give you what I ain't got. Period. I said, I'm not gonna preach to people. I'm not gonna tell these women that rock with me, oh, stop doing this and F them kids. And I'm up here about to fall out trying to get your shit done. I can't give you what I ain't got. So guess what? I rest until it's there again. Hmm? I rest until it's there again. Let me talk about this. Um, we moving on to section number two. And section number two is healing creates capacity for overflow. Listen, healing creates capacity for overflow. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into another law that explains why confusion persists even when someone intellectually understands what they want. Listen, I'm going to tell all the smart women, how many smart women, how many highly intelligent people do we have watching this? How many highly intelligent people are watching me right now? Put IQ. Put IQ in the comments if you are highly intelligent. Just put the letters I and Q, IQ in the comments if you highly intelligent. How many highly intelligent people I have watching me right now? Put IQ. Uh-huh. Highly intelligent. Listen, highly intelligent. You all, listen, the people that rock with me, y'all some of the baddest. Baby, you're smart. Listen, your careers, what you know, baby, you're out of this world. Highly intelligent. Now, I'll say, so we ain't got that many highly intelligent people in here because I only seen about 13 people that say IQ. Okay, we got one over here to say IQ. That's okay. God is working on you yet. But I'm going to talk to you about why that you can be listen, that you can be highly intelligent and still have confusion in your life, right? I want you to know that this what I'm talking about right here is Law 20. Now, before we discuss it, I'm going to read a portion of law from this book. Law 20 says, a healed heart is a magnet for overflow. A healed heart is a magnet for overflow. What you heal stops leaking, and what stops leaking begins to attract. I don't think y'all want to hear this. What did I say? What you heal stops leaking, and what stops leaking begins to attract. Let's talk about real quick. I'm on page 195. Why healing changes what you attract. I want you to know number one, overflow does not arrive by force. You cannot force overflow. You cannot force overflow. It arrives by fit. I'm saying it again. Overflow does not arrive by force. It arrives by fit. A healed heart does not chase, beg, convince, or overextend. It does not grasp for love or scramble for worth. It does not confuse intensity with intimacy or attention with alignment. A healed heart becomes stable, and stability is magnetic. When your heart heals, your energy shifts from looking to available. Come on, somebody. I'm going to say this again. When your heart heals, your energy shifts from looking to available. When your heart heals, you shift from hoping to ready. When your heart heals, listen, you shift from proving to receiving. Overflow is drawn to what can hold it without breaking. I don't think y'all, I told y'all, get the book. I promise you, it's an easy read and it's a good read. Read one law a day. Listen, Let me tell to you real quick when I say what I mean when a healed heart, because when y'all like, well, what you mean? My heart is healed. Let me talk about what a healed heart actually means. I want you to know that a healed heart does not mean that you ain't never been hurt. A healed heart does not mean that you feel happy all the time. Having a healed heart does not mean that you don't have scars. It does not mean that you never get triggered. It does not mean that you forgiven everyone perfectly. Healing means that you no longer bleed on people who didn't cut you. Listen, you no longer bleed on people who didn't cut you. You recognize old patterns before you repeat them. This is what healing means. You respond instead of to react. You choose peace faster. You trust yourself again, and you stop abandoning yourself to be loved. I want you to know that healing is not perfection. And I think a lot of us get caught up in this healing journey, and we've been on this journey for 10, 15, 30, 40, 50 years because we don't really know what healing means. Healing is not perfection, it is integration. And I want you to know, now before we listen, I'm gonna read just a little bit more before we get back into the lesson, because I want to talk to you about why unhealed hearts leak energy. I'm gonna say this again: unhealed hearts leak. You leak through overgiving, overthinking, over explaining, overstaying, over attaching, and over forgiving. I'm gonna say this again. Listen, unhealed hearts leak through overgiving. How many people are overgivers? Huh? When you give all the time, that's a sign of an unhealed heart. When you constantly give to people who ain't got it to give, who don't want to give, who don't know how to give, that's signs of an unhealed heart. If you overthink everything, that's an unhealed heart. If someone says I love you, and instead of taking I love you and running with it, you are looking for ways to why they will be lying, or you're looking for ways to disqualify the love that they're trying to give, that's a sign of an unhealed heart. If you over explain yourself, if you can't say no without over explaining why you said no, some of y'all give explanations when nobody even asked you for one. That is a sign of an unhealed heart. Some of y'all overstay, the relationship been over, the job. Listen, the energy of the job been over and done with. The relationship you in been over and done with. How some of y'all need to move out of state. You just overstaying because you scared. That is what signs of an unhealed heart, right? Over attaching. Everybody is your best friend. Everybody ain't your best friend. You over attach yourself. That's signs of an unhealed heart. And over forgiving. You forgive everything. You forgive everything. You over forgive. I'm not telling you, listen, just over forgiving. Oh, no worries. You got it. People just run over you, intentionally run over you, and you forgive them because oh, God want me to do. You are not God. You are not the son of God. Listen, you are a man. Okay. What would God want you to do? God said, don't go to jail. Okay. God never said just keep forgiving people for doing you dirty. That's over forgiving. Hmm? I want you to know that when you have an unhealed heart, they leak through anxiety and self doubt. When energy leaks, overflow cannot accumulate. Hmm? Let me say this again. When energy leaks, overflow cannot accumulate. It's not punishment, it's physics. You cannot fill a container that refuses to seal. Right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop right there. We stopped on, if you want to continue reading it on your book, is page 197. I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to talk about something this, right? Listen, one of the most important insights from this law, which is Law 20, is that healing changes the way a person interprets and tolerates behavior. I'm going to say it again. One of the most important insights from Law 20 is that healing changes the way a person interprets and tolerates behavior. When the heart is unhealed, people often tolerate confusion because confusion feels familiar. I don't think y'all heard me. When your heart is unhealed, you tolerate confusion because confusion feels familiar. You may stay in inconsistent situations, unclear dynamics, and emotionally draining relationships because these environments match the nervous system patterns that you lived in for years. However, when healing occurs, this is what I need you to know. When healing occurs, something very specific begins to change. Tolerance for confusion decreases. When healing occurs, what have I been saying for the last 4 years? Peace ain't peaceful. Huh? I've been telling y'all that for 4 years. What did I say? Peace ain't peaceful. People think, oh, when I have peace, it's gonna be this nirvana. Peace ain't peaceful. See, when I decided to choose peace, that means I was letting go. I had to decide to let go of a lot of other shit when I chose peace. Peace ain't peaceful. Not the way you think. You hear what I'm saying? I had to stop tolerating bullshit. And see, a lot of people think, well, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. Physically removing yourself from a situation without changing your mindset is just that you still in the midst of confusion. See, let me tell you something. When you are accustomed to confusion and chaos, whether it be a setting, a group of people, one particular person, one particular dynamic, one relationship, whatever the case may be, even when you remove yourself from it, it is still in your spirit. And sometimes that chaos needs to be fed. So if you have not been delivered, and I'm not even talking about on spiritual, I'm talking about physically delivered from this chaos. If you haven't made your mind up that I'm going to go ahead and heal myself, and these are the things that I'm not going to tolerate. If you can't get that chaos, you say, well, I'm not talking to this person because I blocked them. You will go over here and find chaos with somebody else, right? You will be attracted to a spirit of chaos. And here comes somebody else with some confusion in your life. So you left the relationship because you didn't want to deal with that man, but now you're in the middle of your grown ass daughter's relationship with her baby daddy, which is another form of confusion and chaos because that chaos spirit needs to be fed. Hmm? But when you heal, when healing occurs, your toleration for confusion decreases. Huh? You can't call me with that bullshit. Nobody. Can't nobody call me with no bullshit. Not near one. Not my kids. Not nobody. You can't bring bullshit to me. Peace ain't peaceful. I'm at peace. I don't care how much I cuss and fuss, baby. I promise you, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. I listen. I renewed my Hulu subscription. I'm at peace. Don't bother me, huh? What you gonna call me about? What we talking about? Well, listen. Even my own kids, I love them. When they call me with bullshit, I'm like, "What you got to say?" I'm at peace. Get out of here. Hmm? You got 3 minutes. What is it? At peace. Thank you, princess. Listen, I want you to know that the person, listen, when you start healing, when healing occurs, the person begins to feel uncomfortable in dynamics that previously felt normal, right? Situations that once seemed exciting now feel chaotic. Interactions that once seemed to romantic now feel unstable. Patterns that once seemed acceptable begin to feel misaligned. And this is why healing is different. Listen, directly connected to boundaries. Healing and boundaries go hand in hand. Healing and boundaries go hand in hand. It does not, listen, a healed heart naturally develops clearer standards. When you have a healed heart, you know what it is that you want. Listen, you know what you got boots on the ground at all times. You got a healed heart. Listen, you're gonna protect that shit. When your heart is healed and you know it's healed, you will not let people, you can't say two words to me. Absolutely not with a healed heart. For instance, I went to the store the other night to get me some snacks. Mind your business. I went and got me some Mike and Nikes, the orange kind, and some lemon heads. And there was a gentleman in there. Now, here's the deal. One thing about two things for sure in the world is the way this world is going. People take rejection differently. And there was a gentleman in there, and when I walked in, I was by myself. He looked at me. He set his eyes on me, and I said, "Here the fuck we go." Right? And he was, oh man, you so pretty. He was talking to somebody else. Oh, you just so pretty. Da, 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 da. Hey, thank you, no problem. Appreciate you. And I go and I pick out my little shit and I go up to the damn thing, right? And he's steadily talking. Oh man, let me say something, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm gonna say this to say that. You like, okay, Coach, how's this going into peace? See, before, and this ain't even about me being married. This is about me not tolerating no dumb shit. Um, before even if I was married, situations like that, I would be like, well, you never know what this person gonna do. I don't want to reject them. So I might have been like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna give you my number or whatever. And even sometimes, women like, well, shit, I was scared. I was in that store by myself. It was late night. Whoop de doo. I just went on to get it. Hey, go ahead now. Go ahead now. You fucking with my piece. I came in here to get my shit. I came in here to give me some juicy fruit gum and some fucking lemon heads. Go ahead now. Huh? So the man behind the counter was like, hey, bro, I think she married. Damn, there go my husband right there. Look. Cardinal as be knowing. Hold on, y'all. That's Cardinal. Hello. Nothing on the live. Talking about peace. And that's funny. I was just talking about how some ugly man tried to holler at me in the store and peace ain't peaceful. I have my shit on me though. Hey sir, get the fuck on. And that's okay. And then you called. I said, Cardinal be knowing. What's up? What Cardinal, you got to follow me on YouTube. TikTok be doing it. You follow me on YouTube too? I am Coach Misty on YouTube. Okay. What you doing? Oh my God. Don't do no damn Williams. Go to Golden Chick. But you can go to Golden Chick by the house. Give me some dirty rice. Okay. Baby, listen. Pause. Pause. I didn't know his ass was following me on YouTube as well. Huh? See, that's another reason why I told that man, hey, sir, get the fuck on out my face. Huh? I ain't know his ass. He told me I ain't got no notification on nothing. I ain't know that man was following me on YouTube too. Listen. Huh? Lord, help Jesus. Take it from me, Jesus, and don't give it back. Yeah. My husband said, I ain't get no notification or nothing. I'm trying to protect my peace, Lord. Huh? Listen, everybody say they want somebody who don't play about them until they get a person who don't play about them. Huh? Everybody say they want a person who don't play about them until they get a motherfucker who don't play about them. Huh? Everybody say they want a person. Oh, I want my man to check up on me. I want him to call me when he on his way home. I want him to da, 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 da. Until you get a motherfucker who don't play about you at all. At all. Huh? Clarity. I used to be in a state of confusion. I decided to walk away from the confusion, which it stood on business, healed my heart, and the thing that I said I wanted, God said, "Here you go, ta-da!" God said, "Whoop, here you go." And baby, let me tell you something. That one, don't play about me at all. To God be the glory for the things you have done. Listen, listen. Let me tell you something. A healing, fuck the story, because I can't even talk a story. Baby, he just pops up. I'm talking about a story about somebody else, and he didn't popped up. Or me find out he felt that shit in his shondo. He said, let me call this hoe. She don't lie to my somebody at the store. I didn't even tell him about the dude at the store trying to holler at me. Said, absolutely not. Come down here on the highways and byways looking for chicken. Absolutely not. Damn. Jesus, where was we even at? I gotta take a sip. Take a sip. Let's take a sip. Shit. Take a sip. Shit. Baby. Chrono said, not today, Satan. I want to say this to say that. You gotta protect your peace at all times. Listen, even when you don't think nobody watching. Listen, you said putting the index finger on the lip. Listen, chips and a little sip. That's what we had to do. Listen, you say healing energy shift from accepting BS. Absolutely. Listen, you don't want nobody in your peace. Like I told that gentleman, say, hey, going on now. Going on. Not because I was married, but because I'm at peace. Go on there with that bullshit. You up here talking this crazy shit. Go ahead. You the same dude that asked me for $1 the other day. Go ahead. And the cert clerk was like, listen, I'm doing them today. Calm down. I'm doing a fucking class first. I'm doing them today. Tonight. You ain't doing shit in my life. Here I come. Now, I told that man to go ahead and go on. You understand me? Because listen, you're fucking with my peace. Go ahead and go on, sir. You fucking with my peace. I'm just trying to get me a goddamn mic and nights, and you fucking with my peace. Go ahead and go on. Move around. Move around, sir. Good day and good luck on your journey. You fucking with my peace. That's it. That's all. Hi, yes, I'm married. But first and foremost, you fucking with my peace. I came here to do one thing and one thing only. I did not come in here to get a box of lemon heads and a raggedy nigga. You fucking with my peace. Stay blessed. All right, y'all. Let me tell you something. This is why healing, I'm telling you, when you're healing, it directly connected to boundaries. A healed heart naturally develops. A healed heart does not negotiate standards. Appreciate worth. Unstable source. This is Law 35. Thank you for putting in the comments. We on Law 35. This is page 28. Release before you receive. Let me say all of the old. There's no room for new. Release before you receive. I'm gonna tell you why this law is uncomfortable and necessary. Most people want addition without. This is a right here. God damn it, YouTube. Come on and work for me. Come on and work for me, YouTube. Most people want addition without subtraction. Release before you receive. Listen, come on, YouTube. Release before you receive. Listen, you say you want more money, better health, deeper love, greater peace, expanded opportunity, but you don't want to let go of old identities. You don't want to let go of outdated beliefs. You don't want to let go of emotional attachments. You don't want to let go of survival patterns. You don't want to let go of familiar pain. And you don't want to let go of overfunctioning roles. I want you to know that Law 35 exists because overflow is a capacity issue, not a desire issue. Take a sip. Take a sip. Hmm? If you ain't over the age of 42 and then you don't have three different cups in front of you, something is wrong with you. If you don't have three different beverages at any given time, something is wrong with you. Take a sip. Hmm? Yeah. Listen, this is Law 35, page 328. Listen, overflow is not a capacity issue. It is a desire. Listen, it's a capacity issue and not a desire. Listen, be it not a desire issue. You are not blocked. You are full. The reason, listen, she said, oh my God, I got three cups. I am done. Yeah, if you ain't over 42 with three cups, something's wrong with you. Listen, the reason why God is not giving you what you want is not because you're not worthy. You can't hold it. You need to release before you receive. Listen, let me tell you why receiving fails when nothing is released. Receiving requires space. Stop saying you want to get a husband and you're still dealing with the old head. Stop saying you want millions, but you're still doing penny shit. Receiving requires space. If your internal environment is already occupied by fear, guilt, resentment, control, hypervigilance, and all expectations, there is nowhere for overflow to land. Nowhere. Life will not pile blessings on top of burden. Do you hear what I'm saying? Life will not pile blessings on top of burden. Release is not punishment, it's the preparation. Now, let me tell you why holding on feels safer than letting go. Holding on feels familiar. You say, I'd rather deal with this old food and get a new one. Holding on feels familiar. I know what to expect at my job. I know such and such don't like me. I'd rather stay here and know what I'm dealing with than to go somewhere else and do something new. Holding on feels familiar, even when it hurts. I want you to know that if you hear me, sometimes some of y'all are holding on to old pain because it's known. You holding on to old struggles because they shaped identity. You holding on to old roles because they created belonging. You're holding on to old fears because they feel protective. Letting go feels like stepping into the unknown, but overflow lives beyond the familiar. Now, I'm going to explain something to you. Normally, this is the time in the class where I stop reading and I go back to my lecture notes, but I want you to know this. I want you to hear this. If you don't hear nothing else, let me tell you why release is not a loss. This is very critical. Release is not losing something valuable. As the people think, well, if I lose this, what about all the time I put into this relationship? And if I just let it go, then what? Release is not about losing something valuable. I'm on page 330. It is returning something that no longer belongs in your future. Did y'all hear that? Release is not about losing something valuable. It is about returning. I am returning something that no longer belongs in my future. You are not giving up progress. You are giving up excess weight. What is meant for you does not require clinging. Did y'all hear what I said? What is meant for you does not require clinging, right? Listen, I'm gonna go. Can I go a little further with this? Can I go a little further? Yes or no? Can I go a little further? Okay, I'm gonna go. I don't know if y'all said yay or no, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. Let me explain to you why you cannot receive new levels with old containers. Every season requires a different container. I don't think. Every season requires a different container. We may just teach from this law. We may not even go back to the lecture notes. Every season requires a different container, right? What worked before may not hold what's next. Old containers can include beliefs formed in survival, boundaries designed for scarcity, identities built around struggle, relationships rooted in obligation, and habits formed in fear. Overflow requires structural change and not just intention. Huh? Now I'm gonna explain to you why release often triggers grief. Release brings grief because it acknowledges what you survived. You listen, when you release something and your heart start hurting, it's because it's a testimony of what you survived. Listen, when you release something and when you release a person and you start crying and you have a moment of grieving, it's because it acknowledges what you carried along. Some of y'all got to release that thing of being a single mother. Somebody wants to love you and your grown ass kids. You have to release that being a teenage mother. You got to release the being the strong one. You got to release it, right? Release brings grief because it acknowledges what you hope would change, right? Release brings grief because it acknowledges what you outgrew. Grief does not mean that you are wrong, it means something mattered. You can honor what mattered without carrying it forward. Now, let me tell you why people want to receive first. Let me tell you why you always praying to God to give you something and not take something from you. That's the prayer you need to be praying. Lord, take this away from me. Not Lord, give, give, give. Will y'all pray? Am I preaching or am I teaching? I was really just supposed to teach, but I think somebody need to hear this. You always asking God to give, 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 without letting God take something away from you. Listen. The reason why you try to receive first is because receiving feels rewarding. When you get something that you ask for, you feel like you on the right path. But when you ask God to release something, that's acknowledging, Lord, I messed up. I ain't want to preach. I promise y'all, I was really trying to keep it on just a straight. Let me tell you something. Receiving feels rewarding. Release feels comforting. Confronting. When you confront something, you release it. You got to look at it dead on. When you release that relationship, as you saying, I know this shit didn't work. I gotta let you go. Receiving without release creates overwhelm. When you receive without releasing something, there's sabotage. When you receive without releasing, there's an opportunity for collapse. And you receive without releasing, it creates loss. See, that's why blessings arrive and disappear for some people. The things that you ask God for, they arrive and then God and they disappear because they didn't have no room to stay. You ask God for a good relationship, it arrives and then it disappears because you keep talking to such and such on the phone. You ask God for a good job, but you're still trying to hold on to the old job and you to go part-time at the old job and now you're too tired and you're late to the new job and now you done lost a new job that you asked God for, right? This is why blessings arrive and disappear for some people because the container wasn't ready. I want you to know that when you release, releasing is an act of trust. Releasing says, I trust that what's coming for me requires less armor. I release. Releasing says, I trust that I don't need to stay braced. I release that. I trust that life can meet me without force. Trust creates openness, and openness creates flow. And let me tell you something. I'm also gonna say this, and now I'm on page 330. Listen, you say repeat that again, Tinkerbell, get the book. Listen, let me tell you why you keep manifesting the same stuff. Let me tell you why you keep manifesting the same stuff. The reason why you keep manifesting, whether you want to or not, the reason why you keep manifesting the same things is because you haven't released what keeps recreating them. Shit. I can go ahead and hang up now. Thank you for joining. This is Coach Misty. We'll come back with our readings in 40. What did I say? You keep manifesting the same shit because you haven't released what keeps recreating them. Patterns repeat when their roots remain intact. Patterns repeat when their roots remain intact. So if you don't release old beliefs, new situations recreate them. If you don't release old fears, new opportunities trigger them. If you don't release old wounds, new relationships mirror them. Release interrupts cycles. I don't even think I need to go on with the class. Let me, y'all listen. Uh, the way I want to tell y'all that release is seasonal. Release is not a one-time event. I'm gonna read this real quick and then I'm gonna go back to the class. At the bottom of page 331, if you have it, this I told y'all it's an easy read, y'all. It's a very easy read. This is my book. The 48 Laws of Overflow is my brand new book. If you need to listen, it's on Amazon. It's called the 40 Laws of Overflow on Amazon. Misty Scott, the 40 Laws of Overflow, or you can just text the number on the screen. Well, come on, listen. At the page at 331, why release is not a one-time event. Release is seasonal. Release is seasonal. Each level of growth adds what no longer fits here. Every time you get to a new level, release is seasonal. Huh? Listen, each level of growth is going. You reading it? You say, are you reading in an audible? No, ma'am. Listen, what no longer fits here. You don't release everything at once. You release what's outdated now. And that's how growth stays aligned. Now, I'm not gonna go no further because maybe we could get into it. I'm gonna get back to the lesson. I'm talking about why confusion is about your confusion is associated with boundaries. Let me say that. When we read Law 35, release before you receive, I want you to know that this law introduces a powerful idea, which is overflow is not only about acquiring new things, it is also about releasing structures that no longer support the future that you are building. So when you talk, you love the book, thank you, friend. So when we talk about overflow, I want you to know that overflow is not just about receiving, it is releasing things that are no longer fit you. See, many people attempt to add clarity to their lives without removing the sources of confusion that already exist. Come on, big unk. I see you in the live. Many people attempt to add clarity to their lives without removing the sources of confusion that already exist. They want healthier relationships while remaining emotionally attached to unstable ones. You can't say I want a healthy relationship and you're still attached over here. They want peace while maintaining habits that generate anxiety. They want alignment while remaining loyal to identities that were formed during survival seasons. And this creates a structural contradiction. I'm going to say it again. Overflow requires capacity. If your life is filled with dynamics that drain your attention, right? Listen, if your life is filled with dynamics that drain your attention, that fragment your energy and create consistent ambiguity. Look, I can't even say it, y'all. Listen, consistent foolishness, there's no space for clarity to stabilize. It's not. You can't say I want this and I want that. For instance, pause for the cause. I need my business to grow to the next level. I need to create space for people to come and form a mastermind group. I needed that. I had started renting out spaces around Dallas and say, okay, we're gonna have a meeting over here and I'm gonna get on Peer Space and rent this over here. And then I said, you know what? I need to have a space of my own where people can come collectively. I need to have a space where men and women, preferably, women can come in and know they have stepped into a place of overflow where they can come and get their shit together, right? I'm not just I'm talking about emotionally. I'm talking about mentally, where they can come and get their stuff together, right? And so, guess what I did? I said I went and found a space, and it's called the Overflow House, Overflow House Dallas. Welcome to Overflow, right? It's seasons to this. It's next levels to this. It's seasons to this. Everybody not gonna go with me on my next season, and that don't mean you might have your own season to do. There's new seasons to this. We went from having meeting up once or twice a year to having things at my previous home to now having a place that'll be open at least 5 days a week. Welcome to Overflow, where you can walk in and say, "Hey, I'm ready to be in overflow." This, and we can do a step by step assessment of what it is that you need to get into overflow. How can we assist? This is where I am right now, right? This is where I am right now. Because listen, I had to create a space for this, right? I needed a space. And when I went and said I needed a space, God said, here it is. So what I tell you, when you start moving in alignment with the season that you're in, the opportunities are going to meet you dead in your face. Listen, it took me 2 days to find a space. The space really found me. It took me 2 days to find a space. First of all, let me get my own testimony. Let me tell you how God is good. I ain't got this testimony. I need to write this time down because it just dawned on me what happened the other day. If any of my social, I think Kamaya was in here. Let me write this time down real quick. Let me write this time down. Hold on. This is 3/15/2026. This is the confusion class. Hold on. Let me get my own testimony. When I tell you that when you walk in alignment, you gonna screen record when you walk in alignment, just do something for you. First of all, let me say that if y'all don't know, my name is Coach Misty, and outside of having the highest self circle, I also do credit repair. And listen, just like I work on y'all credit, I'm working on mine too. And what's the number one thing I tell y'all not to do when I'm working on your credit? was the number one thing I asked you not to do when you're working in your credit. That is, don't apply for nothing. Sit your ass down somewhere. Stop applying for stuff. So God led me to go find me a place, right? God said, don't mess with it. That's right. God led me to go find a place. And again, me not even thinking like, oh, wait, I'm working on my own credit. I started looking for places. And what happens, whether you're applying for a place to live or a commercial space, they do what? What do? They run credit. Huh? What do? They run credit. But guess what? God told me to move, so I'm moving. I said, it's time. It's time for me to expand. I thank my husband for allowing me to operate out of his house. I know I got the loft and everything like that, but it's time for me to expand. It's time to have a place where people can walk up and see me. It's time to have a place where people can walk in and touch me. It's time for me to have a place where people can come in and participate in my scream therapy, right? All that good stuff. It's time for a place of release. And so I started doing what God told me to do. It all started off with a hairdo, but I'm not gonna get there. This is a testimony. I went and I saw a place, and from the outside looking at it, I'm just looking at what it looked like right now. I was like, this could be it. Like I see the potential in this place. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta make it my own. And the people who manage the place were like, oh yeah, you could decorate, you could, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And when I say everything I wanted to do, from the man to do the construction, everything lined up, blah, 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 blah. And so the lady called me and I said, I'm gonna go ahead and take the place. I took Zion with me to see it. I recorded this so my husband could see it. He was at work. I said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the place. I said, I know this is for me. And then it dawned on me. She said, well, you gotta come in for the lease. And I said, oh my God, I'm working on my credit. Now, true enough, I would just have to probably start the process over again. But I was like, oh my God, like I didn't even think about it. And God said, but I told the lady, my son said, what you gonna do? I know you had working on your credit because I was gonna see another place. And the man was telling me, you need to have this score and it need to be, with this type of whatever, whatever. And we pulled through Equifax. And I said, okay, like what he was asking me, I got it. And when they said I'm working on my credit, when I went into the office, I still went. I asked the lady how much money I needed. I don't even think I knew how much money I needed. I just had a lot of money on me. She said they take cash, cashier's check, money order, whatever. She's gonna make me a receipt. And when I tell you, I walked in and I sat there and I wasn't worried about it. My spirit wasn't heavy because God told me that this was for me. Because when I walked in, I don't care what I saw on the outside, God showed me what the vision was, right? God said, I'm giving you the vision. I'm giving you everything it is that you need. Come on, Miss Trudy. Miss Trudy, you joined right in time. Miss Trudy is one of the reasons why I'm moving in where I'm moving into. And when I walked in, the lady who's helping me out, the woman who's leasing me the place, she said, well, check your email. I sent you the lease agreement. I said, what? I opened up my email. She said, just sign right here, right here, right here. She said, this is how much you owe for the this, that, and the other. Because I told her, I said, I'm going to pay a couple months up in advance. I don't like to have that on my spirit. And I had this money in my pocket. Shout out to Zion, baby. We went to the ATM 36,000 times. This one particular, listen, hey, Miss Trudy, there's one particular place I had this money at, ain't it? It's in Ohio. So I had to go to, baby. Shout out to the ATMs. Me and Zion been hitting up ATM all week. And she told me to sign the agreement. So y'all, I signed the agreement. I gave her my money and I walked out the door. I moved into the space April 15th. I have the same guy who did the construction on their office is going to do the construction on my office. I have an agreement with him for the work. And it didn't dawn on me until later on that night. I said, oh my God. I said, she never ran my credit. She never ran my credit. All she asked me for was ID. She never ran my credit. It took me a while. When I tell you, huh? You got to release certain stuff. I'm ready to receive. When I tell you, I had to. I went to dinner that night. I said, "Oh my God, that lady never ran my credit." Listen, come on, Miss Trudy. Trudy say perfect. Now, y'all listen, Miss Trudy. I've been sick and I've been sleeping hard. But Miss Trudy is my new stylist. Listen, what's for you is for you, huh? I had to listen. New seasons. I'm walking into a new season. You understand me? I'm standing on business. I don't care what it is that I saw, what was presented to me. I saw what could be and I ran with it. Man, let me tell you something. I couldn't believe it. I said, nah, if that ain't a testimony, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. If that ain't a testimony, I don't know what is. I said, that woman never asked to run my credit. You hear me? Never. Never. Come on. That was my testimony, y'all. Y'all be having y'all be having y'all credit praise breaks and all that stuff. I heard somebody said that they was ready to get their credit done. Just text the word credit to that number. Listen, it was God. Come on, Miss Trudy. Miss Trudy said it was God approved. Yeah, it was God approved. I ain't touched nothing. You hear me? Nothing and nothing. If you ready, listen. The person who said that they ready to get their credit done, text the word credit to that number, and I'll get with you, y'all. I'm gonna talk about this. Listen, I just wanted to give y'all this. Listen, when I tell you this, we were talking about overflow. Overflow requires capacity. Overflow requires capacity, right? If your life is filled with dynamics that drain your attention, fragment your energy, and create constant ambiguity, there's no space for clarity to stabilize. This is where boundaries become essential. I want you to know that boundaries are not punishments. Listen, I had to let some people go. I had to walk away from some situations. I had to set boundaries. Boundaries are not punishments. Boundaries are structural decisions that protect the environment required for growth. Listen, this is why you need boundaries. Boundaries are structural decisions that protect the environment required for growth. When people say they feel confused about a relationship, a career decision, or a life direction, the confusion often persists because something that should have been released is still being held. When you confused about moving, come on, when you confused about moving on, whether it's moving to a job, moving out of state, moving on with your education, whatever it is, that's fear. Huh? That's fear. There's confusion behind that. There's somewhere deep inside of you, you don't believe that you can do it, or somebody told you you couldn't do it. And that's why you overthinking. And a lot of time the opportunity passes up. I want you to know that you have to release that. Release them people who telling you you can't do them. Release them. Release the people who only operated, listen, who only benefited from you not knowing yourself. Release them. Release them from any type of relationships where you don't know where you stand, whether that is friendships, that could be with your family, that could be with your friend group, that could be with your lover. Release them, because when you start releasing things, release creates space. Release creates space, and space allows clarity to land. Y'all, I know we've been on here for a while. Just stick with me. We got one more law. We got one more law. If y'all just now coming in, what's up, Buttercups? This is what Coach Misty. Every Sunday, I teach from my new book, The 48 Laws of Overflow. And this Sunday, we didn't touch a couple laws, and we talking about how confusion is also associated to the lack of boundaries. So what we're gonna do is, real quick, we're gonna turn to Law 46. Real quick, we're gonna try to y'all look at me listening. I know that wind coming down. This me. Miss Trudy, I'll bring you a book Wednesday. I got extra books at home. I'll bring you a book. Law 46. Law 46 says everything. This is paid Cardinal. Oh, that's Cardinal coming in the house. I ain't know what was y'all heard that noise too. Cardinal, you okay? I ain't know what that noise was. We sitting up here like, what a minute. That's Cardinal coming in, y'all. Listen, Law 46 says everything you desire already exists. Align with it. Come on, somebody. I'm going to read for this. Listen, yeah, it's the wind and blowing too. Lord, y'all bless my husband. I don't even think he 200 pounds. Cardinal, did you almost get blown away? My husband, wait, Cardinal, I'm going to close this door real quick, okay? All right. Oh, we ain't closed all the way. Baby, he got a six pack, but I know he was out there. They probably did listen. That almost took him under. That wind almost took my husband out of here. Cardinal, they said, hold on. They said, hold on, Cardinal. Don't let the wind whip you away. He almost blew off the porch, y'all. They said you better put some sand and stones in your pocket, sir. He said he almost blew off the porch. I can't take y'all serious. Now look, y'all, we got to get back to it. Law 46. Oh God. Listen. Listen. I know the wind picked up in them true religion jeans he got on. Thank you, Custom Creations. I know the wind picked up them true religion jeans. Huh? There's a lot of space in them, Cardinal. Oh God. Hey, Bookie. All right. All right. Huh? They was perfect, Cardinal. Yeah, see y'all. Let's go into it. Law 46, y'all. We gonna close this class out. Oh God. Law 46. Oh, that was funny. Everything you desire already exists. Align with it. Hmm? This is a oh God, wait. I need a drink or something. Hold on. Ugh. That was funny. Baby, I could picture Cardinal out there right now. Baby struggling. Huh? Mm-mm. Everything you desire already exists. Excuse me. Align with it. I think we read this before, but we're gonna read it. We're gonna read it because it goes with this. This is the last law we're gonna talk about. Page 421. You are not waiting for your life to arrive. You are learning how to meet it. I'm gonna say this again. You are not waiting for your life to arrive. You are learning how to meet it. There's a deep exhaustion that comes from believing you are creating your life from nothing. I'm gonna read that a little slower. There is a deep exhaustion that comes from believing you are creating your life from nothing, from scratch, from struggle, from sheer force of will. It makes desire feel heavy. It makes vision feel distant. It makes the future feel like something you must wrestle into existence. But the truth is quieter and far more revealing. Everything you desire already exists. I want somebody to put that in the comments. Everything you desire already exists. Not as fantasy, not as wishful thinking, but as potential, listen, but as a potential reality already moving through the world. Your work is not to invent it. Your work is to align with it. You don't have to invent. Don't you know everything that you want someone has already done? Everything you desire already exists. Everything that you want someone has already done. Not and that's not a bad thing. So you don't have to recreate it from nothing. You don't have to create it from scratch. You want to be an amazing wife, someone's already done that. Follow the blueprint. Align with it. Huh? Align with it. Listen, I want you to know that alignment is misunderstood because people think it means waiting. Alignment and waiting are not the same thing. They imagine sitting still, hoping something happens, trusting blindly and doing nothing. But alignment is not passive. Alignment is positioning. If it's choosing thoughts, behaviors, environments, relationships, and rhythms that match the life you say you want before proof arrives. I'm gonna say this again. What is alignment, boys and girls? It's about choosing thoughts, behaviors, environments, relationships, and rhythms that match the life you say you want before proof arrives. It is becoming compatible with what already exists. Think about how often people delay alignment until after results appear. They say, I relax when things work out. I'll trust myself when I succeed. I'll act confident once I'm chosen. But alignment works in reverse. You don't wait for the outer world to change before you shift internally. A lot of y'all are waiting to hit the jackpot instead of acting like millionaires. I don't think y'all hear me. A lot of y'all are waiting to make a $1 million in your business before building $1 million blueprint. Yeah, I don't think y'all hear me. A lot of y'all are waiting for the perfect person to show up before being the perfect person to yourself. I'm gonna say this again. You do not wait for the outer world to change before you shift internally. You shift internally so the outer world can meet you. The idea that what you want already exists can feel unsettling at first because it removes the drama of becoming. It removes the excuse of timing. It removes the illusion that you are powerless. If it already exists, then the question is no longer when. So if the wealth that you want, if the business that you want, if the man that you want, or the person that you want, if the relationship that you want, if it's motherhood, if all of that already exists, the question becomes, where am I misaligned? See, we blame timing for everything. We like, oh yeah, it's just not God's timing. God didn't see it fit. God didn't see it fit because you out here saying one thing and doing something else. Take a sip. Stop putting all that on God. Stop putting that on God's name. Stop putting all that on God. Stop putting that on God. Oh, well, the reason why God, I'm just waiting on God to send me a good husband. No, God waiting on you to put some lip gloss on and go outside. That's what God waiting on. I'm a God waiting on you to stop being angry at your oldest daughter's daddy, and your daughter is 32. That's what God waiting on. God ain't you not waiting on God to send you a good man. You waiting on God is waiting on you to get with the program. Come on, somebody. Now I'm a rapper. Now I'm a rapper. Listen, I'm gonna say this again. The idea of what you already want to listen, the idea that what you want already exists can feel unsettling at first because it removes the drama of becoming. It removes the excuse of timing. It removes the illusion that you are powerless. So if it already exists and the question is no longer when, the question becomes where am I misaligned? And that is a more honest question and a more confronting one. Because see, misalignment is rarely about desire. People usually know what they want. Misalignment is about the habits that contradict the vision, the relationships that pull you backwards, the beliefs that keep you bracing for disappointment, the identities that were built for survival and not expansion. You cannot align with abundance while practicing scarcity. I say this shit all the time. You cannot align with abundance while practicing scarcity. You cannot align with peace while choosing chaos. You cannot align with love while distrusting yourself. Alignment asks for coherence. Everything you desire exists because it was already been lived by someone somewhere. You don't listen to none else I say. Everything you desire already exists because it has already been lived by someone somewhere. I want you to know that peace exists, wealth exists, healthy love exists, purpose exists, ease exists. You are not asking life to invent something new. You are asking to step into a version of reality that is already available. That availability does not mean ease of access, it means possibility without creation. Alignment is the removal of resistance, not the addition of effort. Most people don't need to do more, they need to stop doing what contradicts what they want. Now, let's go ahead and finish out this lesson. Listen. You said God waiting on you to put on some lip gloss and go outside. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all be, hey, y'all, don't make, hey, listen, I'm trying to finish this class. You got, yeah, no, you give it to me now. I see you to turn that. Can you turn that feeling? I see you turn that thing on. Can you turn that ceiling fan on, Cardinal? Because you going, huh? Because I see you done turn the heat on. Baby, Cardinal going to turn that heat on. Huh? Come on. Oh, oh, you got me a little, come on. Come on. You got me, what you got me, a chicken tender and a piece of shrimp? I know, right? What you made with it? I, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna eat it like this. You showing out? Okay, he said he's showing out tonight, y'all. He said he got shrimp. I didn't even know the chicken place had shrimp. This we got a lot of questions, huh? Huh? It's good, Cardinal. Chicken place. Princess Please. He got. I think this is a chicken tender and a piece of shrimp. Shout out to my husband. He make me the best kitty plates. He know I ain't gonna eat that much. And he took my rice and he smashed it down to make it look like a lot. Come on, y'all. Listen. Let's get into it. Alignment removes mixed signals. Let's go ahead and finish this out. I want you to know, listen, I want you to know that alignment is the state in which a person's thoughts, choices, and behaviors reinforce each other instead of contradicting each other. That's when you know you're in alignment. When alignment is present, confusion decreases dramatically because the internal debate that once consumed energy begins to dissolve. I'm going to say this again. When alignment is present, confusion decreases dramatically. Why? Because the internal debate that once consumed, listen, that once consumed energy begins to dissolve. A person who is aligned does not consistently renegotiate your boundaries. When you are aligned with what it is that you want to do, you do not consistently renegotiate your boundaries. You do not repeatedly question your own standards. You do not need excessive reassurance in order to make decisions because alignment simplifies life. Instead of constantly asking, what should I do? The aligned person begins asking a much more powerful question. Does this match who I am becoming? You need to, every time you make a decision for the next 7 days, whatever decision I want that you make, I want you to ask yourself, does this match who I am becoming? Well, if I'm going out to the, if I say I want to start saving for a house, but I consistently going to the club or going out and spending money, does this match who I am becoming? When that question is answered honestly, many confusing dynamics resolve themselves naturally. People who no longer match the direction of your life begin to fall away. Opportunities that once seemed attractive lose their appeal. Decisions that once felt difficult become obvious. Alignment does not eliminate challenges, but it removes internal contradiction. And when internal contradiction disappears, I'm saying this again, when internal contradiction disappears, the external environment begins to stabilize. Right? Now, I want to say this and say that. First of all, thank y'all for rocking with me today. And everything we discussed today points to one central truth: clarity is not accidental. Listen, listen, listen. Clarity, huh? Clarity is not accidental. Clarity is not. Listen, clarity, confusion, absolutely. Clarity is not accidental. Clarity is built through healing, boundaries, and alignment. What do we need for clarity, boys and girls? Healing, boundaries, and alignment. This is exactly the work we are doing inside the Highest Self Circle. Now, if you are just now joining, what's up, Buttercups? My name is Coach Misty, and I am the founder of the Highest Self Circle. The Highest Self Circle is a digital space where we are going deeper into identity transformation, boundary clarification, emotional regulation, and the practical application of the laws of overflow. The High Self Circle is designed for women who are already successful, but know they are ready to evolve into a higher level of clarity, leadership, and alignment. How many people are successful in their work, but they need to reach that level in their personal? If that's you, say me. If I'm talking to you, put me. You are successful. You listen, you done got all the degrees that they offered. You got all the ABCs and one, two, threes after your name. But you need to take that same success and apply it into your internal self. You are ready to evolve into something. You need a higher level of clarity, leadership, and alignment. I want you to know that not yesterday's, if today's lecture resonated with you, I would also encourage you to get a copy of the 48 Laws of Overflow. Now, if you would like to join the Higher Self Circle, want more information, go ahead and text the word higher self to that number. If you are watching me on YouTube or Facebook, if you read the description of this video, the link to the Higher Self Circle is there. Go ahead and text higher self to that number on the screen. Text me. Don't send me a message. Text higher self onto that screen. Listen to the number on the screen, and I'll give you more information about the highest self circle. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of y'all, listen, y'all bosses in the boardroom, but at home you confused. When you get in that car, you confused. You confused about a lot of different stuff. I need all areas of your life to match up. Okay? Listen, I want you to know that what we discussed today is only one piece of a much larger framework. These laws are designed to be studied slowly, reflected on deeply, and applied intentionally. Now, when you do that, I want you to know that your life begins to reorganize itself around clarity rather than confusion, right? And when clarity becomes your standard, overflow becomes possible. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed this message tonight. I hope to see y'all in Self the High. If you are a part of the Highest Self Circle, this week's assignment has been added. Go ahead and get started on it. And also, everybody that's in the Higher Self Circle, I will be sending you a personal invitation to visit the Overflow House in Dallas. You will have 90 days from the day it's open to come on in and see me. All right. All right. Listen, y'all. Now, what I'm going to do, if y'all don't mind, listen, I don't never ask you to do something I don't do. Even when I used to have my workout group, I never asked the people to do something that I didn't do. Okay. Listen. Okay. I'm not even about to, I'm going to listen. Listen. Come over to the Overflow House. First of all, now before we do this, if y'all don't mind, I'm just gonna read. I started reading my own book, One Law a Day. But I'm gonna try this shrimp. We gonna try this shrimp. I feel like that boy Joshua. that's trying to Facebook Marketplace food in Florida. I ain't never had a piece of shrimp from Golden Chick. So we gonna try this shrimp with nothing on it. My husband say it's good. I mean, it's white like a shrimp. Mm-hmm. Um, it's given. Okay. What is it given? It's given. It's given. It's given a piece of shrimp from Golden Chick. It's given Long John Silver's. It did. Mm-hmm. Huh? It's given. It's giving us a piece of shrimp. Yeah. Okay. It's given. If I ever want shrimp in the midnight hour, to go to Golden Chick and get me a 6 piece. It's given. It's gonna get stuck in my chest later, but it was given crunchy and munchy. Okay. It's given. It's given. If I ever go back to smoking, that's where I'm going to get a piece of shrimp from. Thank you, Cardinal. Okay. It's giving shrimp. Shit. It's giving shrimp from a chicken place. That's why I can't do no food review because okay, that's a chicken. It's given they use the same batter on everything. That's a chicken tender. And to be honest with you, all this shit tastes the same. Hmm. It's giving this Friday. It's giving this Friday the same grease. Hmm. Yeah, it's given. All right, y'all. So if y'all don't mind, I'm going to read. I'm on law 5. This shit stuck in my chest. I knew it. It's right here, Lord. I knew that shit was gonna get stuck in my chest. That's why I keep sprites in the house. It's getting right there. I knew it was gonna get stuck. Uh, it's giving. It's giving. I'm old. It's giving. I'm gonna need a sprite. You said blue in the house. Uh, it's giving. I'm gonna need a sprite. All right, y'all. Listen. So at this time, if you want to, we doing just a word from him. That's what it's giving. I told you. I told you. It's about to take my esophagus out right there. You know how much you gotta love somebody? You know how much you gotta love somebody when you be with somebody who belch as much as I do? Do you know how much he gotta love me? The way I belch 24/7. 24/7, 365, just belch. Sometimes when we out in public, I need him to hit my back like I'm 3 months old. I need him to burp me in public. And he be running. He be listen, he be rubbing my back. We just be in public. He just be looking at me like, don't you take another bite. Don't you take another bite. And he just get and at home, he be he be beating the hell out my back at home. He be like, I'm like, hey, hit it. Listen, to belt somebody in public is love. So shout out to Cardinal. Shout out to Big Ump. You got to love somebody a lot to do that. Cause this happens a lot. Um, like sometimes I be on the couch and he be in the room or somewhere else in the house, and I guess he'll hear me. Like I don't know if he just know I'm in distress or what's happening, and he just come out of nowhere and just get to hit my back, just hit my back. We both be watching TV, and he just hit my back, just hitting my back, huh? Hit you, God, where? You want me to hit it, Lord? Just hit my back. I don't know who signs up for that for life. Who signs up for that? Just hidden. Listen. Oh yeah, he know me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I started belching day one. Huh? You said shout out to Unc. Appreciate you for being you. Yeah. Shout out to Big Unc. All right, y'all. I'm about to read law number 5. Y'all can read along or whatever. I'm gonna stop this live and start a new one. If you click the link in my bios, we doing just the word from God tonight and some other stuff. So click the link in my bio. I changed the link in my bio. I'm gonna read number 5 and I'm gonna highlight. This is what I do every day. I read a law. Now let me say just to say that, y'all. I always tell people like, yeah, read a law every day. It'll help you, but I don't want you to double up on laws. If you, this is for anything, y'all. Stop beating yourself up about what you feel is a missed opportunity. Stop. This is a word right here. Well, I'm talking about the book, but now I'm really talking about life. Stop beating yourself up about missed opportunities. Stop trying to make up for stuff you didn't do yesterday and be thankful. Listen, sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you needed that time to yourself. Maybe you needed that time to do XYZ elemental P. Stop. When I didn't read my law yesterday, I didn't try to. I was doing other stuff. I didn't try to get up and jump up and rush to do it. Let me read the law this morning and read the law tonight. No, first of all, I thank God for the opportunity to see another day. That's number one. I thank God for the opportunity to see another day. And number two, I said, Lord, maybe this law today is for me. What's for me is for me, and this is what's for me today. I don't beat myself up about things that I didn't get to do yesterday, because whatever God, wherever God redirected my energy, I trust that that's where it needed to go at that present time, right? So I don't try to make up for good. Listen, because when you keep on trying to make up for things that you did yesterday, you'll never get to see tomorrow. That was a word. That was a word. When you keep on trying to make up for things that you didn't get to do yesterday, you'll never get to see tomorrow. That was a word. That was a word. So I'm gonna go ahead and read Law 5. I don't beat myself up about it. This is where we are. All right, y'all. So y'all can read along with me. And like I said, I tell y'all to read the law today. And yes, I do read my own books over again all the time. Cause especially my novels, especially my novels. I be reading them like, girl, you is messy. I read my books all the time. Hey, my thing is this. Hey, I read my own books. I'm about to, and when my homeboy get back from traveling, listen, when my homeboy get back from traveling, Roderick, I'm about to wear my own clothes. Y'all gonna get sick of me. I got Cardo don't know, but I got Cardo some t-shirts that say my wife fixed credit. Call her with the number. My wife fixed credit. Cardinal. Cardinal. I don't know, he might be asleep. My wife fixed credit. Call her. I got t-shirts for Cardinal to say that he gonna wear 'em. My wife fixed credit. Call her. 469-520-9525. I got shirts made for Zion. My mom fixed credit. Call her. Huh? Hmm? My shirt say, your credit bad? Call me. 469-520-9525. Okay? So, shout out to them. The way. Okay? The way. I got them in walking billboards. Everybody gonna have Overflow Dallas t-shirts. Overflow House Dallas. Okay? Okay, my wife fixed credit. Call her. You owe taxes? Call my wife. He ain't even got to tell people that. He ain't got to tell people none of that. He ain't got to tell people no more. Just put the t-shirt on, Cardinal. My wife fixed credit. Call her. Nothing's really wrong with me. Woo! All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Law number 5. Yeah. Listen. When you got a person that supports you, when you got a person that supports you, listen, with your shenanigans, baby, you better hold on tight. You hear me? You better hold on tight. The way my son and my husband support me, I got friends who support me, baby, hold on tight. Listen, they be with the shenanigans. You hear me? The shenanigans. This is the reason why I'm able to do so much and pull out so much, because the people that rock with me, rock with me. They roll with me. You understand me? What they say? You said you like the shirt idea? Listen, Listen, you say one t-shirt for, listen, shenanigans. What somebody said, what dude, that doggone Misty, what my homegirl Crystal, her ex-mother-in-law said to her, listen, her ex-mother-in-law said to her, uh she said, that doggone Misty, every time something you be with that Misty talking about, if she jump off the cliff, if you go, we all gonna have parachutes. Please, we going together. I support, listen, the people who rock with me, I rock with you hard. Whatever we doing, what we doing today? Huh? Listen, I am the pinky in the brain. Y'all remember that thing, pinky in the brain? One is a genius, the other insane. Baby, that's how the people in my life, baby, we operate over here like pinky in the brain. Every day I wake up with a new idea to take over the world. To take over the world. And the people that love me, love me. And they be like, okay, what we do every day, just take over the world. I'm taking over the world, Craig. That's what we do every day. Okay, what's the plan today, Craig? We taking over the world. You said keep it exciting. No, it ain't even about being excited. This is just about I'm living life. This is what I do. I wake up and I'm like, this is what I want to do, and we do it. I'm living life. I am living life. You hear me? Listen, I'm living life. What we doing today? All right, y'all. Now, listen, listen. My son be with it. Cardinal be with it. Most people I deal with be everybody I deal with better be with it. Okay? With it. Okay? My mama, she be with it. Okay? Listen, whatever. My oldest son, with it. Okay? My grandkids, I got to teach them young. Okay? When grandma say let's go, you better be with it. Okay? All right, y'all. So I'm doing my daily reading. This is my daily reading of what? The 48 Laws of Overflow. This is my brand new book. Check it out on Amazon. The 48 Laws of Overflow. You say next team t-shirt with it. What are we, class? With it. The shenanigans, that is. All right, y'all. Law number 5. If you want to read along, you can. I highlight when I read. Law number 5 starts on page 42. You cannot heal where you were hurt. Let me repeat this. Hold on, because we've been clowning. Law number 5 says you cannot heal where you were hurt. Y'all ready? Let's go. If the environment broke you, staying there will not fix you. Law number 5 says you cannot heal where you are hurt. If you are watching me and you want to get this book and you forgot what I said, text the word book to that number on the screen. Let's start off with the truth most people don't want to accept. Healing does not happen in familiar pain. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to say it slower. For the part of you that keeps hoping things will magically change without you having to move. Healing does not happen in familiar pain. You cannot breathe fresh air into a burning building. You cannot recover in the same space that made you sick. You cannot evolve in an environment that benefits from your brokenness. And yet, so many of us keep trying. We stay, we tolerate, we adapt, we minimize, we spiritualize abuse, we romanticize endurance, and we call trauma strength. We call attachment love. We call stagnation faith. And then wonder why we're still bleeding. This law exists to free you from the lie that staying longer equals healing faster. It doesn't. Listen, the first thing I'm going to do, listen, is healing does not happen in familiar pain. That's the first thing I'm going to highlight. Healing does not happen in familiar pain. Huh? One of the best lines in this book that I wrote is you cannot breathe fresh air into a burning building. Somebody listen to what I'm saying. Huh? Listen, London Bridge is falling down. A lot of y'all shit is upside down. You cannot breathe fresh air. Trust me, you're going to see this. I'm going to put this on TikTok later. You cannot breathe fresh air into a burning building. You can't. Huh? You cannot recover in the same space that made you sick. This is why when you go to the hospital, if you ever listen, when you listen, you don't stay in the same room you had the baby in. When you give birth, you in one room, and when you have after birth, they move you to another one. If you come into the hospital and you go into the ICU, when you start getting better, they don't keep you in ICU. They move you to another floor. You cannot recover in the same space that made you sick. Let me explain to you why we try to heal in the same place. We don't stay because we're weak. We stay because we're trained to. I'm about to talk to women of color. We don't stay because we are weak. We stay because we are trained to. We were taught to be loyal, don't give up, work it out, pray harder, be patient, see the good, turn the other cheek, stay humble, and endure. I don't think y'all hear me. Huh? If this is you, say, yup, say that's me. We were taught, women of color, we were taught to be loyal, don't give up, work it out, pray harder, be patient, see the good, turn the other cheek, stay humble, and endure. What no one taught us is this: endurance without discernment is self betrayal. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that. Endurance without discernment is self betrayal. See, some spaces are not assignments, they are wounds. I was just supposed to read it. I wasn't supposed to teach it or preach it. Some spaces are not assignments, they are wounds. And wounds don't heal when they are reopened daily. I'm gonna say this again. Some spaces are not assignments, they are wounds. And wounds don't heal when they are reopened daily. We're gonna talk about the myth of if I just heal enough, it'll stop hurting. This is one of the most dangerous spiritual myths. And you tell yourself this: if I heal, I can stay. If I heal, I won't be triggered. If I heal, I can handle it. If I heal, I won't need to leave. But healing is not an emotional armor. I want you to know that healing is clarity. Somebody put that in the comments. What is healing, boys and girls? Healing is clarity. And when you have clarity, clarity often reveals that this place cannot go where I am going. This feeling cannot go where I'm going. This person cannot go where I'm going. These people cannot meet me at my next level. This version of life is incompatible with who I am becoming. Healing doesn't make you tougher. Healing makes you honest. And I don't, they see that's what people don't understand. They think, oh, if I heal, I ain't going, this and the other. Healing doesn't make you tougher. Healing makes you honest. Let me tell you why some places need you broken. Huh? This is going to answer some questions for y'all. Let me tell y'all what some places need you broken. This is the part most people avoid talking about. Some environments require you to stay small. Some relationships benefit from your insecurity. Some jobs profit from your overgiving. Some families depend on you being the emotional sponge. Some communities collapse if you stop being the fixer. And when you begin to heal, those spaces will resist you. They will gaslight your growth. They will question your boundaries. They will mock your clarity. They will call you selfish. They will say you have changed. They will say you're doing too much. They will say that you are not the same. And guess what? They are right. You are not. And that's the problem for them. Let's talk about the difference between healing and coping, because I think a lot of people are coping. You're not healing. What am I reading? I'm reading my book, The 48 Laws of Overflow, available on Amazon. Look up The 48 Laws of Overflow by Misty D. Scott, MBA. The 48 Laws of Overflow. I'm reading chapter law number 5. I tell y'all to read a law a day. I reread a law a day. And listen, even when I'm not on live reading with y'all, I read like this in my living room. Let's talk about the difference between healing and coping. Coping allows you to survive dysfunction. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and underline that. I'm highlight that. Coping allows you to survive dysfunction. Healing requires you to leave it. So sometimes y'all, a lot of y'all are coping with stuff. Listen, coping allows you to survive dysfunction. Healing requires you to leave it. Coping says, I can manage this pain. Healing says, I don't belong here anymore. Coping numbs, healing disrupts. Coping keeps you functional while healing makes you free. If you got your book, go ahead and do this. Coping keeps you functional while healing makes you free. If you want to join the higher self circle, listen, the whole purpose of me creating the higher self circle was to put this into law, to teach you something. Now you can read the book and do great works with just reading the book. But if you're ready to learn and get deeper and create you a new identity, text higher self circle to that number. Text HSC. Say, Coach, I need you to heal me. Coach, I want to be different. Text the number so we can get this work done. If you have to constantly regulate yourself just to exist somewhere, this is not a healing environment. This is a trauma loop. I'm going to say this to say that. If you have to constantly regulate yourself just to exist somewhere, this is not a healing environment. This is a trauma loop. Listen, let me tell you why God often calls you to move to heal you. God tells you you got to move in order to heal you. Now, I'm about to get spiritual with this one. Y'all ready? Throughout spiritual history, healing has almost always required relocation. Come on, somebody. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. I'm on page 45. Throughout spiritual history, healing has almost always required relocation. God told Abraham to leave. God moved Joseph out. God pulled Moses away. Jesus left towns that refused to receive him. Movement was not rejection, movement was protection. God does not heal you by shrinking the wound, he heals you by removing the knife. Do you hear what I said? If you don't highlight that, God does not heal you from shrinking the wound. Y'all want God to shrink the wound. You want God to heal your heart. God said, let me remove the knife. Let me remove you from what no longer serves you. And you fighting it. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. That's on page 46 at the top. God does not heal you by shrinking the wound. He heals you by removing the knife. Listen, the wound that hurt you is not evil. It's just expired. Now, this is very important because not everything that hurts you is bad. Listen, come on, because that y'all be trying to return the sender, baby. Y'all say y'all worse than the post office. Not everything that hurt you is bad. Some things are simply done. They served a purpose, they taught a lesson, they shaped a version of you, but seasons expire. And when you overstay a season, what once taught you will start to traumatize you. I'm gonna say this again. When you overstay a season, the thing that once taught you will start to traumatize you. The room didn't change, you did. Let me tell you why leaving feels like a failure, but it isn't. A lot of y'all stand because you say, well, I don't want to give up because if I give up, then it seems like I failed. Let me tell you why it's not a failure. Hold on. I want to highlight that. When you overstay a season, what once taught you will start to traumatize you. The room didn't change, you did. Listen. Leaving triggers guilt because it challenges old identities. I'm going to go ahead because I'm going to put that on TikTok somewhere. Leaving triggers guilt because it challenges old identities. You are the strong one, the loyal one, the dependable one, the fixer, the peacemaker, the ride or die, the one who stayed. But strength that cost you your health is not strength. Loyalty that drains your soul is not virtue. Listen, staying that silences your spirit is not faith. Sometimes leaving is the bravest, most obedient thing you will ever do. Now, there is a shadow. Every law that I wrote in this book, there's a shadow that blocks that law, and this is called false loyalty. We're going to talk about the law of false loyalty. False loyalty sounds like they need me, so I'm going to stay here. Or I can't abandon them. They mama abandoned them. They daddy abandoned them. And if I walk away, then I'll be abandoning them. That's false loyalty. Or I already invested too much in this business. I invested too much in this job. I invested too much in this relationship, right? Or what if I regret leaving? Then what? Or what if I'm the problem and not them? What if it's me? Or what will people say if I divorce this person? What will people say if I quit this job and start a business? What will people say if I go back to school after 20 years? Or God wouldn't want me to quit. That's the one right there. That's called false loyalty. God wouldn't want me to quit. See, false loyalty is rooted in fear and not love. Love does not require self destruction. Huh? So let me tell you how to recognize if a space is blocking your healing. If you got the book, we on page 47. How to know if a space is blocking your healing. I want you to ask yourself, listen, about if you're trying to figure out, is this space blocking me? Ask yourself these questions honestly. Do I feel smaller here? Do I consistently doubt myself here? Some of y'all gonna be at work. Do I feel smaller here? Do I have to stay numb to stay? Am I anxious before I arrive? Do I feel relief when I leave? Do I silence my truth to keep peace? And am I healing everywhere else, but not? Yes, that room is not your medicine. Now, let's talk about what happens when you finally leave. At first, you are going to feel a series of emotions, including grief, guilt, fear, loneliness, and second guessing. So when you leave a situation, whether it's a person, place, or thing, right? Or an identity, you're going to run into grief that turns into guilt, that turns into fear, and then loneliness, and then second guessing your decision altogether. But then I promise you, if you stay on the path, if you walk in alignment, if you trust the new season that's coming into your life, peace will show up. Listen, clarity will come to pass. Sleep will return. Creativity, self trust, alignment, and overall expansion. Leaving feels like loss before it feels like freedom, but I promise you, freedom always comes. Listen, let me go ahead and highlight that. I'm gonna have to put that on TikTok. Leaving feels like loss before it feels like freedom, but freedom always comes. I don't think y'all hear me. Man, say when I tell y'all the 48 laws of overflow. Now, there is an activation ritual in here. It's called Exit with Power. You just need a journal, a candle, and a quiet moment. I'm not going to go over that. You can read that on your own. And then the overflow, we almost done. So there, every law, there's an activation ritual for it, right? For you not only to just, we're not just going to read it, we're going to be it. We're going to live it, right? And then there's an overflow practice flow. So y'all do this with me. For the next 7 days, I want you to notice when your body tightens up. Take a little notepad with you. Notice when your body tighten up. Is it when certain people come around, when you pull in the work? Notice when you get tensed up. I want you, over the next 7 days, I want you to notice where your spirit shuts down and where your voice disappears. All of these things are clues, and I want you to honor them. All right, now, just to sum up Law 5, I'm going to say this to say that healing requires safety. Somebody put that in the comments. What is it? Healing requires safety. You cannot heal with the same person that hurt you. You hear me? You cannot heal with the same person that hurt you. You can't. You cannot. If somebody hurt you and it's beyond repair, you cannot heal with the same person that hurt you. Not in the same house. Absolutely not. I ain't even talking about just a husband or boyfriend relationship. I'm talking about sometimes your kids. You can't heal in the same place. Healing requires safety. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Familiar pain blocks growth. Leaving is not failure. It is wisdom. Listen, leaving is not failure, it is wisdom. Some rooms cannot hold healed versions of you, and God often heals. Listen, God often heals by calling you out. Hmm? God often heals by calling you out. The affirmation at the end of this chapter is this: I choose environments that support my healing and expansion. I want y'all to say that tonight. I choose environments that support my healing and expansion. Listen, y'all, tonight has been amazing, amazing, amazing. If y'all give me about 17 minutes, we'll be back at 30 minutes after the hour. Listen, go ahead and click the link in my bio. We got just a word from him, a 5 day forecast, all that good stuff is coming up. I want to thank y'all for rocking with me. Tonight has been amazing. Shout out to the mods who are in the building. Shout out to everybody who participated. Again, if you would like to join the Higher Self Circle, if you would like to join a group of women who are, listen, are in the midst of their identity transformation, text Highest Self Circle to that number and I'll send you the information today. Or if you need to get the book, The 48 Laws of Overflow, text me the word book and I'll get that information. Take a screenshot or 469-520-9525. And it's right to me, directly to me. The phone that you texting is actually the phone I'm doing my YouTube and Facebook on. So go ahead and text the word book or text Highest Self Circle. If you join the Highest Self Circle, there's always a PDF format of the book in here. So I think tomorrow, I believe, and I think God is telling me to do it. I'm going to start reading my chapter with y'all every day online. That's what I'm gonna do. So tomorrow we're gonna do Law 6, which obedience opens what hustling cannot. Clock that. Obedience opens what hustling cannot. Hmm? Listen, you don't need listen. You don't need to do more. You need to listen better. Mirror, 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 mirror. I don't know what time, Tinkerbell. Y'all be asking me questions. I don't know. Now I know what time TikTok told me to go. I could go live. It's gonna work for me. I don't know what time. I know it ain't gonna be before 12. How about that? It ain't gonna be before noon. Okay. Who knows? But follow me on YouTube. I'm Coach Misty. And make sure you hit the bell to get the notifications that I'm on live. We will be back in 15 minutes. I'm about to finish eating the rest of my chicken tender and my rice and get me a fresh water because that water came from the pits of hell. And I don't know how old that water is. I got all kind of beverages over here. And we'll be back in 15 minutes. Click the link in my bio to sign up for tonight. Listen, it's your girl, Coach Misty, and we back. Hey! And we back. The shrimp gone. I ate that one shrimp. Facebook, YouTube, thank you so much.